Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over in the test server, and as you can hear, we have a wicked storm that is rolling through. So I'm hoping that we don't lose power or anything. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Fight of Fates. Now, of course, if you're newer to AFK Arena, this is a game mode that literally we are just stacking on top of all of these other game modes that we have. The Fight of Fates and the Battle of Blood are two events that are based on really card play, and I'll go through here. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So looking in here, when entering the game for the first time, players will be given a differing number of initial points. During the event, players can choose cards and use in their card deck. Now, this does come with a little bit of an RNG factor depending on who you have built. Now, each deck can be comprised of 5 heroes and 6 effect cards. In this event, players can only choose heroes that they already own. So again, it's kind of catering to a lot of the larger players that might have everyone available versus players that are just newer to AFK Arena that might not have everyone, but you can still get all of your resources and get everything that you want in here. Out of the 5 heroes shall be selected a Vanguard, so you will have one primary hero, which again, I'll show you in just a minute. Vanguard hero will automatically enter the battlefield first. During the battle, Gems of Dawn gradually will be added and of course used for your skills and abilities, and then it goes through all of the regular stuff that we see. Now, of course, faction bonuses. You can see, depending on what you have your faction bonus in here, it is going to make a big difference if you're running 3 of 3 heroes in here. And the quest, this is the reward aspect that we have in here. Very similar to what we've seen with a lot of different events. We have daily quests in here. We also do have weekly quests. So making sure that you come in here because, of course, the final chest is going to yield you those Stargazer scrolls if you're building out any heroes, including the awakened version of Antandra. And once you get her to Ascended, you have to use your Stargazer scrolls to actually build her up any further. Now, this game mode, even though it is very competitive and Rockstar is keep rushing it in here, as you can see, short of the daily, short of the essentially the event rewards, there isn't anything else you get. So let's look at these card sets and kind of how you build it, guys. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to build my own card set. Now, like we said earlier, there is going to be a Vanguard. Anytime that you enter combat, your Vanguard hero is always going to enter combat first. And there's always restricted heroes in here. You can see right in here. And the reason for these heroes is they are very, very broken in kind of a one-on-one game mode. Meaning that looking in here, we have Geralt that is unusable, Knis and Rook. We have the awakened version of Brutus. His shielding ability is just crazy. We do have Kayleen in here, and then we have Athalia, or Alna, and then we also do have, look, some restricted cards in here as well, which again, these cards are kind of a little bit broken. So looking at the Vanguard and looking at a couple different things, the Vanguard is usually going to be a hero that can stand alone, that has the ability to do a lot of damage, and really looking in here at your tanks, looking at some of your awakened heroes, they can do incredibly well. Now in here, I'm actually going to start this out. And as you can see, these heroes are built in their entirety, meaning that we have the signature item, we do have the furniture on them, we have the engraving on them, we have everything. And I was going to put Naruko in here, but I believe, is that one of the restricted cards? I didn't think that was one of the restricted cards, but I'm not seeing her built here. And over on the test server, I do have her built. But let's see, so we have Brutus in here. Kaz has always been a pretty decent one. Who else do we have in here? Looks pretty basic with what we have. Let's go ahead and drop Taylene in here. Taylene will be the Vanguard because, again, having her built up. Now, of course, remembering our faction bonuses, let's hop over here and see who else we got. We got Halos in here, and of course, Alna is out. The awakened version of, wonder if we can use the awakened version of Taylene. There we go. So we use Taylene in here, and then looking at a couple other, we have Matria in here. Then even looking at the awakened, we have Rem, we have Amelia, and I'm going to go in for all of these. Now, we ran Ainz for an incredible amount of time. Let's go in there. These are going to be the 5 heroes with our Vanguard up there. Now, looking at our cards, this is what you're going to use your diamonds for. You can see we do have a lot of restricted ones in here, but some of the bigger ones in here, Steel Body is, of course, going to give you an immunity. We have a Silence in there, which does work. And if you click on these, I believe it tells you exactly what it does. So damage to all allied heroes in exchange for Gems of Dawn. So you will get gems out of there. There's a ton in here. I mean, you can buff up some of the attack rating. You can even come in here to some of the very, very expensive as a damage and a control, a regenerating and a heal, massive shield buff. There's a ton in here. So depending on your play style, you can actually play around with this and see exactly what you want to do. So I'm going to challenge in here, and I want to drop in that second card set that we did build. Now, of course, Master War, this isn't against an actual player. So again, thinking of the build, and there we go. So Taylene is in. We're going to drop in, depending on how this fight goes, I would either go in for Rem or I would go in for Amelia. Now, one thing to note with this game mode is when you cast an ability, so right here, even Crushing Hammer, I'm going to use it. Boom, there we go. Got hit. Is a lot of times it's very hard to get through with a lot of heroes and kind of how they work. Sometimes it's very difficult to get some of these to trigger, which I really don't like as well. But looking in here, let's drop Rem. And you'll notice that where you place them is important because they do walk out. And I think we took them all out before we got anyone else in there. Like I said earlier, the awakened version of Taylene is pretty broken in here. There's a lot of heroes, like I didn't see Shamira in there. The awakened version of Shamira, if we can use her in here, is pretty broken as well. Just because of the methodology or how she does work. Brute power, we can even drop on our hero. Boom, there we go. Meaning that Taylene is going to do a lot more damage to the target. Now this one, because we know the awakened version of Taylene, and as you can see the immunity right there, I'm going to drop Rem in here. So she's going to roll out. We got a mass shield in here. Even the Crushing Hammer. So of course Wukong kind of breaks into two. Let's go ahead and shield these heroes up. Getting the damage mitigation, of course. Crushing Hammer, we can go ahead and take down the target. We got an ultimate ability from Rem. Boom, took it out. Now look, twins come in, Crushing Hammer just literally break them, and then Taylene's ultimate ability just destroys it. And again, it's kind of a card mode you can put in, again, your own heroes that you want to run in here. It is pretty fun, but again, you want your dailies to roll up to essentially your event or your monthlies in there. And Scrag, depending on who you're fighting, you can see a lot of crowd control in here. It's a pretty cool game mode, but I know a lot of players that don't like it. I personally come in here because I know there's a leaderboard. I know there's a couple other things. But when you're coming in here, there's only essentially a certain amount of really things that you can get out of here with the rewards itself. And again, when you start ranking, and we've said this before, when it comes to Fight of Fates, when it comes to the Battle of Blood, they need a leaderboard, and they need to reward players on the leaderboard for being able to come in here and really play the game essentially very well and at a very high level. I don't know why they've never done it. I don't know why they've added, even just do a couple extra Stargazer scrolls, do anything in there. It would make a big difference in the game mode. But there we go. We complete our dailies. This, of course, is going to give us some resources. We also get a resource chest. So you're getting red chests out of here, which is really cool. And these always roll up right here. Your 2 win streaks, getting some more rewards out of here. And then, of course, just going through regular gameplay, you can actually finish this out in the entirety, building out your card sets how you see fit based on the heroes you have. And of course, if you want to spar other players, you can go in here and you can actually spar other players. So if you want to go kind of one-on-one versus another player in AFK Arena, you do have the ability to spar them, which of course is very cool. Now, based on the guild, there is a fortune chest. You can see 35,000 diamonds. Now that, of course, if we're in the top 50 rank, that is split among everyone in the guild. So you don't get 35K diamonds, which would be awesome, but they are split between everyone in the guild. So all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.